Hey everybody, it's Pax. Welcome back. We're doing some more League of Extraordinary Investigators. If you were here last time, you might not have been. If you were here last time, you would have seen me get killed on my way down the stairs. Immediately before getting my way down the stairs. And taking a mental trauma, which was unfortunate. I think maybe better than a physical trauma. Not 100% sure. But anyways, I did actually forget to go read the resolution, so let's just double check that right now. Um, no resolution was reached because each investigator was defeated. That's R2, and so some text. We did recover the strange key, so we do. If you don't go faster than our Iron Man run, I will delete your account. I mean, good luck. Yeah, thank you. Um, so we did recover the strange key, so we go to R3, and then Randolph survives the descent. We don't get the strange key. We got that 6 victory points. We add the skull token, and then we proceed on to the next scenario. So it actually was not that bad. We still have Randolph, and I think I looked back at it later, and I think that actually there was an investigation where I committed Randolph that I just shouldn't have and should have had him in play. I think that was a problem. Ultimately, not getting my weakness early was a problem. Getting it after I'd been beaten down a bunch and having to chunk a whole bunch of horror at once and just instantly die is a problem. That doesn't typically happen with me for Mark. But if Randolph had been in play, I might have been able to kind of manage that a bit better on that front. Anyways, back to what we're actually doing tonight is the point of no return. Randolph survived the descent, an intro, yada yada yada. But first, I guess we really should go over the deck upgrades. So, all right, deck upgrades. That was nice and laggy. So this one's super simple. I am replacing my Brand of Cthulhu's with Brand of Cthulhu's. That is my 6 XP. I want to be able to hit for 3. Getting an extra +2 is really nice. This is really good with Ever Vigilant to be able to play them for 1. There's just a lot about these that's quite good. But ultimately, they're going to be letting me swing for... why do I have 31 cards? Is that correct? Let me search this and double check that this deck list is correct. Stubborn Detective and Shell Shock. There's 29 here. One of them's Randolph. There's 28 here. That doesn't seem correct to me because I have 3 removed from my deck. So what have I messed up here? I'm going to have to re-import this deck, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have to re-import this deck because I see this 28 here and I'm thinking to myself, that's just wrong. No, home front. Home front. Yes, okay, 27 plus 3, we're good. I always forget about home front. So that's fine. Thank you, Banjo. Yes. Okay, cool. So anyways, 2 Brand of Cthulhu is the upgrades for this one. And also, I guess while we're down here, the league rules. The rules for this one, it says VP from locations capped at 9, but if you're familiar with the scenario, which I'm not, because I just checked this right before stream, the VP from locations is actually 7, and there's 2 from enemies. So we've got 1, 2, 3 on the board, 4, 5 from where Tower of Koth sends you, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's 8 on locations, and then there's 2 on enemies, I think is that correct? Yeah. Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yes, there's 10 available, and it's capped at 9. So we do have to kill one of them, and it's probably going to be the Gug Sentinel because the Enchanted Woods is trapped behind that. But there is the option of evading him if I have a take the initiative and am willing to take a damage from Mark. So that's a thing, and he doesn't chase us, right? The only problem with leaving him on the table is that he does hit for 2 and 1. And a lot of the treacheries, what is it? There's a treachery that makes an enemy move towards your location one at a time and then hit you. Well, he still hits you if he doesn't end up in your location. So you have to be careful about that. Another thing I've done is, again, I'm not super familiar. Oh my god, I have the league rules open the whole time I'm talking about this. Another thing I'm doing is I've marked off a bunch of locations based on whether or not I like to flip them very much. I don't really want to flip this. I have to flip this. I want to flip this. I want to flip this. And then these ones, I don't really want to flip this one if I can avoid it, or I have to be ready to flip this one if I can. But anyways, that's kind of the setup for it. So let's make sure that we're doing the setup correctly. Obviously, this is all done in Tabletop Simulator. Oh, and let's do our opening hand as well. Whew. Brand, home front, shortcut, evidence, scene of the crime. I want more assets than this, but this is actually a really nice hand. I guess the shortcut's not necessary. I can get shortcut later. Scene of the crime is really, really nice for 2 locations in this scenario. There's a 2 clue location that, while you're there, like, your encounter cards get surge, and so getting the 2 quickly is very important. But then there's also the trapdoor, which has a shroud equal to 2 plus the number of cards in your hand. And I think using Scene of the Crime to get that rather than doing a bunch of commits is the thing to do. Homefront and Brand of Cthulhu lets me instantly kill the Gug in 1 hit. And so I'm keeping that. And I'm keeping the evidence to go kill him as well. Am I really doing this, though? Is this what I'm happy to do? I don't know. That's some goofy shit, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how I feel about, like, playing the Brand, shortcutting over, and then pinging myself for damage, swinging in with Brand, and using Homefront to kill him in 1 action. And then, like, evidencing for the clue off the location. I really don't know how I feel about that. It feels so weird to play Ever Vigilant and not search for my assets. And then I have the Scene of the Crime. No, but you know what? My hand goes down to nothing, and so the Scene of the Crime, it's fine. It's fine as long as you don't auto-fail. Yeah, exactly. I think I got to get rid of the Scene of the Crime. I hate doing this, but okay. Well, I guess I don't get rid of the Scene of the Crime, and I have a second Ever Vigilant. You know, so that if I need to play even more assets, we're good, right? We're good. We're fine. Okay, so let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's read this too. Minus X is the amount of damage on this card, which is going to be the other one. But yeah, these are going to get worse and worse. Reveal another token. If you fail after the skill test ends, draw the top card of the encounter deck. Yuck. And -3 if you fail by 2 or more, choose a ready enemy or location, or a connecting location. That enemy moves to your location, engages you, and makes an immediate attack. Also yuck. Okay. So that's that. That's kind of a little sad. Let's resave that camera. And then let's take a look at the setups going on, right? All this stuff set aside. We're using the correct act. Let me make sure that I'm using the correct act deck here. You see I've used this one rather than this one, and it is entering the Underworld version 2 where he's alive. And then the Sinister Realm is here, yada, yada, yada. We'll do a quick search of this to show you that this is the correct bag, Mythos, not bag, Mythos counter deck. And finally, the Chaos bag itself, right? I added the extra skulls, so there's 3 skulls now. And I think that's everything. I think we're good to go. We're at a 3 shroud location with 1 clue. We do need 3 clues here to advance. But we're going to want all these clues anyways. So, I think I'm just going to go for it. And if this flubs, then I can just end the stream nice and quick. So we're going to spend 2 for a Brand of Cthulhu. And that's loaded up like crazy. We're going to use the Stick to the Plan to shortcut over to the City of Gugs. And after I enter the City of Gugs, I flip it over and resolve its text on this other side. Spawn the set-aside Gug Sentinel enemy at this location with 1 clue on it. Oh, you're right. He comes into play with a clue on him. And I'm just going to put him there like that for now. Test 3. If you succeed, he enters play exhausted and unengaged. Otherwise, it enters play engaged with you. I mean, I don't care. The idea is for me to deal 4 damage to him. So he enters play engaged with me. And then this flips back over, and I have a clue here that I can get. Yeah, okay. So then I shoot him with a Brand of Cthulhu. So I'm using combat. I'm going to be at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with Sophie, dealing a damage to myself and drawing a card. Well, that would have been really sad if it had been my enemy guy. And then committing the home front. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 against 5. Yep. That's the thing that occurred. Oh God. Okay. It's kind of awkward now, isn't it? Feels like it sucked all the air out of the room. So we'll give it another go. 5, 6, 7. He doesn't ever retaliate, right? 5, 6, 7 against 5. I won't take another damage for that, obviously. A -2, which succeeds by 0, so I lose the remainder of my actions. And I'll just deal 2 damage, I guess. Because I need to do another attack anyways, so 2 damage is fine. Yeah. Okay, so he hits me for 2 and 1. 1, 2, and 1. And this is a new phase, so I get to draw a card off that. Another evidence, thank you. And then I upkeep into a perception, thank you. Yeah, no, that was pretty awful. I mean, this is like a super high risk play, but I mean, I'm fairly certain that I would have been doing that no matter what. Like that's how I kill him. Is trying to kill him in as few actions as possible. Especially where like my other weapon is a Colt and I'm only swinging for 7 if I take a damage, right? Like the brand plus a home front or a vicious blow is how I deal with him. And it just didn't work. And a hunting ghast. Okay. Ready each Gug at its location and deal 1 damage to the hunting ghast. Well, at least he's only got 1 damage on him. I can just punch him. But he doesn't actually ready. He's already ready, and you can't ready someone who's ready. Does that... Anyways, whatever. So we'll do the same thing. We're attacking 5, 6, 7. No, let's punch the hunting ghast first. We're attacking 5 against 2. We're 3 up on that. Plus, so we get +3 for this. So he's extremely dead. And I guess we'll just play the evidence now to get that clue off the location. So that's 1 VP secured. That's nice. Thank you, game. And he's dead. And now we'll just do the other brand attack. We're at 5, 6, 7. Do I take a damage for this? Like, Shell Shock's going to kill me if I take a damage for this. So, no, I don't think I do. We'll just do 7 against 5 again. At least the -3s don't, like, kill me there. That's a 0, so I get to do 2 damage from the brand. And he's dead into the victory display, and I get a clue off of him as well. So that's fine. I have no camera 3, thank you. He's up in the hex zone. I don't have an overlay for that. I forgot to take the horror from Gug's ability. Well, he didn't ready, though, right? He was already readied. You can't... The same reason, like the same way, if he was already exhausted and he had a trigger that said, like, after you exhaust him, he's already exhausted, he can't be exhausted again. That's how I understand it, at least. And then... Oh, this Tower of Koth ability is suddenly, like, really scary. He exhausts when he attacks. Oh, thank you. Yep, good call. Yep. No, you're right. You're right. So I'm like super boned. So I'll just head up to the Tower of Koth, and that'll be that. We'll see if I can't pull this off. Okay, upkeep. The Stubborn Detective. Thank you. Game. 2 out of 5 Doom. A Doom. Well, this is fucking annoying. Five against 3. I mean, yeah, we'll attack 7 against 3 and try not to pull the -4, but we probably will, based on how this is going. Okay, yeah, I'll deal 2 damage to him. So he's dead. And then, nope, this is what I meant to do. I'm going to try and lift the stone and see if that works. So we'll commit an unexpected courage and we'll take a damage. And we'll even take a draw from that damage to be 4 up. And we auto-fail that. And I believe that this is basically done. Because I cannot recover from this. I'll draw last action with the Colt. And then I draw the scene of the crime. I'm not getting anything from this deck that I need. 4 out of 5 Doom. Another Haunting Ghast. Delete this video game. Yeah, basically. But the plus side is, this will not take longer than your Iron Man game did. It is not possible. So the Hunting Ghast is here. So I'll just try to kill him in one go with the brand, and I'm going to be running out of combat stuff soon. So 5, 6, 7 against 2. We cannot. Okay, we try again. A -2, so we deal 2 damage to him. And he's defeated. And I guess I kind of have no option but to play this Colt, even though I have like no other assets. I'd love to play an Ever-Vigilant to get more than one thing out at a time, but that's not how this is lining up. So we do an upkeep phase, we get Shell Shock, so we take 2 Horror, and we are instantly dead. And we now have 2 Mental Trauma, and we secured 2 victory points from this scenario. Them's the breaks. I'm tempted to just let the video run for about 30 minutes while I go get a glass of water, so it looks like I was actually able to play this scenario to my reviewer, so that this is a surprise for them. Or for anyone who comes and watches the video later. What do you think? Yeah, huge oof. Huge oof. I mean, this is what solo play does, right? And I think also to an extent this is my own fault for prioritizing damage stuff after I took a mental trauma. You know, you start at 4, you take a bit of damage on Mark, the auto fail on the Gug. The best kind of joke is the joke that's on the viewer. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, after the joke that just got pulled on me, there's not much you can do. You know, I kind of feel like I have to do a little bit of a reversal. I mean, upsetting's a relative term, but yeah, I mean, this is certainly disappointing. I feel like this Mark deck. Actually, how about I just stick around and just talk about my deck? Can I pull up the list that I have? I'm just gonna pull up the list and I'm just gonna talk for a bit. Yeah, it's the Curse of Solo Play, exactly. I mean, this is the signature. This is the signature you write in your own blood when you choose to play solo play in this game. Is there a reason my deck list is not popping up? Oh, there we go. This is weird. Okay. Sure. This is fine. So, like, my deck at the start of this campaign is, like, to me, this is, like, the Mark solo deck. Like, I don't know how to play Mark solo aside from this. This is what I've had good results with. And to be fair, scenario 1, despite being pretty tight, like, I'm pretty sure I cleared the last infection on the very last action. Like, it went, like, swimmingly. It was a very solid scenario. And I wasn't worried about scenario 2. And then this happened where I upgraded my Enchanted Blades to Brands, picked up Stick to the Plan, and picked up Ever Vigilance. And I think, to be honest with you, that I may have made a mistake in buying Stick to the Plan in this scenario instead of between scenario 2 and 3, or instead of between scenario 3 and 4, or possibly picking it up altogether. It didn't do anything for me in this scenario. In fact, it let me start with an extra for 6 XP. I started with an extra shortcut in my hand. I don't think that that's sufficient, and I think that that 6 experience. This is probably a good example of when Stick to the Plan is a thing you don't prioritize, because I think that 6 experience could have just gone to upgrade more stuff in my deck, and like get some beat cops instead of replace these guard dogs with beat cops. It makes my combat more reliable. It gives me a little bit more horror soak. Fine, right? Something like that. Upgrade my vicious blows to upgraded vicious blows. The problem though is that, or even my emergency cash to level 2. The problem though is like you need so much dedicated clue tech in a solo guardian, and there's nothing to upgrade to. There's nothing. And maybe I'm being a little exaggeratory there, but like realistically, F Guardian, and I've probably done this before. You can see all my previous things, but like X Clue, right? Clue, just Clue. Alice, nope, not helping. Agency backup, yeah, that's pretty good. Can you afford that solo? 7 cost. Ooh. If you've got Stick to the Plan with an emergency cash on it. Evidence upgraded, I'm not doing much for you. Gret, fine. Gret, fine. Maybe that works. Interrogate, there's no humanoids in this campaign, really. I mean, I guess in this scenario there were, but nah. Lesson learned, I don't know. I guess that you could upgrade something into lesson learned, but that's not how this deck was set up. On the trail, I actually considered getting on the trail for the finale, to just like move around the map really quickly and pick up 2 clues on the way, so that you can like on the trail land at a spot at a mandible, or not a mandible. That's not the right word. Land at a leg, and then punk it with a clue. Right, pick up 2 clues on the way and then punk it. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't work, but it was a thing I was considering, especially where it's a tactic you can start with in your deck. Roland Banks. Well, I can't add Roland Banks into Mark's deck, unfortunately, and then Scene of the Crime. So that's that. Investigate, right? What else do we have? That could... Oh, look, Michael Lee. He's the only Guardian card that says anything about investigating. Fine. Let's go... I don't know, Discover? Did we already do this? We already did this. It's the same thing. So those were the options. What I just showed you were the options. And I have evidence, and I have Scene of the Crime, and I have Perception. I even have Ever Vigilant that I'm willing to commit if I have to. And I have Flashlights. And you can't lose those. You just can't. And so I'm stuck with like Guard Dog being upgradable, so you replace him with a different ally. The Colt being upgradable, you replace it with a better gun. The Enchanted Blade being upgradable. Maybe you know what? I think that's it. And this is something that maybe it was just me seeing something new and wanting to try it out. But I think at this stage in the game, when I upgraded my I shouldn't have bothered changing my page here. I think when I upgraded my two enchanted blades into Brand of Cthulhu's and a Stick to the Plan, what I instead should have done, because I have no ammo tech in this deck, I should have upgraded my 2 Colts into Brand of Cthulhu's, and I should have upgraded my Enchanted Blades into upgraded Enchanted Blades to heal myself horror after I've defeated enemies. And draw cards. It's extra card draw acceleration to see your clue tech a bit better, and it's dealing with the fact that you can just die stupidly to Shell Shock if you've needed to ping yourself too much and you haven't seen your healing cards. Another thing is that I guess there's the possibility that medical student, hallowed mirror, and 2-second winds is actually just not enough healing. Get the gun that is also a boomerang. Yeah. Um, Upgrading the Colt was actually something I considered just from a economy perspective of like now this goes from 5 to this goes from 5 to 3 and this goes from 8 to 10, right? Like that was something I had considered as well. But I think that the upgraded Enchanted Blade instead of the Stick to the Plan would have been better going into that second scenario, and I think it also would have served me well here. Anyways, that's kind of, I guess, my retrospective on what went wrong with this. I mean, I'm probably still going to play the finale. I don't want to not finish the league out, but there's no way. Like I dropped pretty low in the pack after scenario 2, and I'm probably down there in the bottom right now. But I do want to see if it's possible. Yeah, the horror heal is a big deal. Yeah, Enchanted Blade is probably one of my favorite. I love Guardian. Guardian is such a cool class. I think that I've had worse too yeah, you know what? I've had worse too would not have been a bad call. That also would have been good. Upgrading. So yeah, no, hold on. 2 Ever Vigilant, and then I've got this left, right? Upgrade 2 Colts and get 2 I've had worses. Something like that. Or maybe just forego Ever Vigilant. I really don't have that many assets. Have to see the Ever Vigilant replaced Glories. And the reason I like replacing Glory with Ever Vigilant because it's kind of like it's keeping me in my 2 intellect icons that are flexible for a card that like lets me do something I might not need to do, and so it's a flexible thing that I can commit. But I think that maybe I've had worse would have been is also a really good choice. But like when it comes to Guardian weapons, and there's a lot of them here, I think Enchanted Blade is probably my absolute favorite. But usually it's also carried heavily on the fact that I have beat cops that can deal an extra damage here or there, so that I'm not just swinging for 2, 3 times and then I'm done. It lets me like swing for 1 inefficiently and get an extra damage in, and like vicious blow 2s and stuff. And I don't think that really works solo. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced it does. I also, when I'm not solo, I really like the Sledgehammer Mark a lot. It actually is just kind of sick. The double action to deal 3 damage along with beat cops and like maybe even galvanize to get an extra action and then use beat cop again. There's something really cool there. I haven't tried it out upgraded, but that one's neat. But realistically in solo play, like you've got Machete, which costs an XP because we play with Taboo. You've got Enchanted Blade. You got the 45 automatic, and you've got the 32 Colt. Because what else are we missing here? Hand, is that going to work? Yeah, these are the one-handed weapons because like you need flashlight. You can't get away without flashlight. 2 upgraded E-blades and 2 upgraded Colts. Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, so that's definitely some griping and punking the audience a little bit on my playtime. I think from here I might just let it fade to black. All right. I almost want to replay it off stream and just be like, what happens? Like let's just say, if I'd pulled that Elder thing, I would have killed that Gug in 1 hit. I would have had that clue. And we would have been on this. With, like, the same fucking game state. Right? Like, it would have looked like... It's crazy to think how different this game is without that auto-fail on the first one. And, I mean, the auto-fail on this was more just insult to injury. This might have got me 2 more XP if I'd have been able to get over here. But, like, I had clues, and I would have dropped them if I had died there. So, right? Like, I don't think I would have got the clues, and walked away if I hadn't auto-failed this test. I died so soon afterwards that wasn't even a thing I was thinking about. But I guess realistically, like, I could have just been like, yeah, I'm going to investigate this location. Like, don't even wait for the scene of the crime at the top of the turn. Just be like, I'm gonna investigate 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 against a 3, and then pull this and it's an auto fail again, right? Something like that. God. Okay. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.